Hello friends, so today I'm going to explain a new Korean drama for you all, whose title is Dr. Slump. In the beginning of the drama, we see a girl named Ha-nol, who is the heroine of our drama. And by profession, she is an anesthesiologist doctor. Friends, basically, this type of doctor's job is that before any patient goes for a big surgery, she checks everything about the patient, what kind of medical problems the patient has, which medicine should be given before surgery, and which should not be. Knowing all these conditions and preparing the patient, that is the main job of an anesthesiologist. That means, even in big operations, this doctor has an important role. Now we see her coming out from the hospital, and we see that Ha-nol's stomach is hurting a lot. Today was just like a normal day. Everyone was busy with their work. Ha-nol was also doing her duty, but suddenly, because of the pain in her stomach, she walks out of the hospital, and just as she is crossing the road, her pain becomes worse, and she falls down right there. But even in that moment, Ha-nol's eyes are noticing the people around her. Some people were very happy, some people were very busy, and maybe this is what we call a normal day. In such normal days, some people are very happy, some very busy, and some very troubled. And on these kinds of normal days, something big can also happen, which can change your whole life. Like on such a normal day, even death can happen. Just then, we see a big truck coming straight toward Ha-nol. Seeing that truck coming fast in front of her, she becomes totally blank. She doesn't even try to save herself. The truck keeps coming fast, and right there, the scene cut. In the next scene, we are shown an operation room where some doctors are doing surgery on a patient. But during the surgery, complications start happening. The bleeding becomes too much, and the doctors are not able to save the patient. This is how even a normal day can become a terrible one. Then the scene shifts, and now we are in the year 2009 in Busan. At this time, Ha-nol is in high school. Ha-nol is a very intelligent girl, one of the top students in all of Busan. This time too, her name came in the top student list. And because of this happiness, a banner was put up in her school. Here we can also see Ha-nol's mother and uncle, who are very happy with her achievement. And the whole celebration that is going on, it's all because of Ha-nol. From her mother, we also get to know a lot more about Ha-nol, like how she always runs while reading, just to save time. She studies 17 hours a day. She eats only simple and light food so that she doesn't get any digestion problem. Her stomach only stays calm when she sits at one place for a long time. Even in her free time, she doesn't want to stay free because she feels that when she's free, her mind starts thinking useless things. That's why she uses her free time to organize her belongings. Whether she's waking, sitting, sleeping, or standing, she does only one thing, and that is studying. Sometimes, it feels like she was born only to study, and her mother is very proud to have such a daughter. On the other side, we meet the drama's second main character, Young-woo. In studies, Young-woo is no less than Ha-nol. He is also one of the top students in Korea. Whenever there's a test in school, he always comes first. That's why seeing his name on banners has become a very normal thing now. And whenever these banners are placed, he acts in front of his friends like, what's the big deal? But deep inside, he feels very happy. Well, moving forward, we now see Ha-nol's family. Today is Ha-nol's father's first death anniversary, and because of that, her aunts have also come to the house. As soon as Ha-nol enters the room, all the family members sit together to eat. Even during the meal, Ha-nol keeps studying, but her eldest aunt, Wool-soon, says, why don't we sell the family's factory? Anyway, it's running in loss, but Wool-soon doesn't want to sell the factory, because first, that factory is a memory of their family, and second, she and her husband had worked very hard to build it. Then the other aunt says, if we sell the factory, whatever profit we get, 50% share can go to Wool-soon, 30% I will keep for myself, and the remaining 20% will go to the younger aunt. When the younger aunt hears this, she gets angry and starts arguing. She says, why should I take only 20%? I was okay with Ha-nol's mom keeping 50% because she really gave a lot to the factory. But why should I take less? Ha-nol elder aunt? Because of this, both aunts start fighting and even begin physically struggling. While fighting, they both fall on top of Ha-nol, but Ha-nol doesn't even care. She lies down and continues studying. As soon as her study time is over, she closes her book, stands up, and says to her mom, Mom, we should sell the factory. Anyway, it's already in loss, and you were the one who wanted me to go to Seoul for studies, right? So let's sell everything and go. And we'll also not have to see these people's faces again. In this way, Ha-nol and her whole family shift to Seoul. Now the scene shifts to a school. We see Young-woo's friend running into the classroom, and he says, a new girl has taken admission in our class. She's from Busan, and she's very beautiful. And the shocking thing is, she's also a top student in Busan. Young-woo says, it doesn't matter to me. Just then, the teacher enters, and now we see the entry of Ha-nol. That means Ha-nol has also taken admission in this school. The teacher introduces her to all the students. At that moment, Ha-nol's eyes fall on Youngwoo, and Youngwoo also looks at Ha-nol. Before coming to this school, Ha-nol had already found out everything about the top student. She recognizes Youngwoo by looking at him. Both start staring at each other. Youngwoo thinks in his mind, only one genius can exist in this world, and that is me. Ha-nol also thinks in her mind, only one top student can exist in this school, and that is me. This means now the battle between them is about to begin. During the break, when all the students come around Ha-nol to talk to her and ask her, how were your studies back in Busan? Ha-nol doesn't reply. Trying to act smart, Youngwoo comes to her and asks about her study. But suddenly, Ha-nol shouts loudly, all of you, just get out right now. Hearing this, Youngwoo feels very insulted, and all the students immediately move away from her. Just like this, time passes slowly, and Youngwoo and his friends start witnessing Ha-nol's strange habits. Like, even during break time, she does exercise while studying, so that she can sit at one place and study for a longer time. One day, the teacher gives a math problem to the class to solve. Youngwoo is solving it in his notebook, but Ha-nol is doing the calculation in her head. Just as Youngwoo is about to tell the answer, Ha-nol speaks up before him and tells the correct answer. Everyone looks at her with shock because she is even faster than Youngwoo. After the class ends, as Youngwoo is leaving with his friends, he sees Ha-nol eating something and asks, what is she eating? His friend tells him she eats dry coffee. That way, she won't have to go to the washroom again and again. Hearing this, Youngwoo gets more shocked and says, this girl is really crazy. We should just stay far away from her. But slowly, Youngwoo starts feeling insecure because of her. Now even in school, the first one to arrive was always Ha-nol. Every time Youngwoo comes, he sees Ha-nol already there. One day, Ha-nol runs past him, and he can't bear it, so he also starts running. Ha-nol sees this and begins running even faster. The way both of them live life is very different. Ha-nol's mindset is, in life, you must keep moving always. But Youngwoo believes life doesn't always go the way we plan. Time passes, and the year 2023 arrives. Now Youngwoo has become a very famous plastic surgeon. He is extremely popular, and he also had a YouTube channel with more than 1 million subscribers. We see him at an event where he meets a friend named Dae-gun. From the beginning, there was some tension between them. They meet after a long time, but when Dae-gun sees Youngwoo, he doesn't talk nicely. Then they go to sit at a table. Young pulls out a chair for himself, but before he can sit, Dae-gun Woo sits there. This makes Dae-gun angry. Still, he starts serving wine for himself, but Youngwoo extends his glass too, assuming he's pouring for him. Now Dae-gun gets even more irritated. He says, this chair was not for you, and I wasn't serving wine for you either. Everything I'm doing is for myself, not for you. Hearing this, Dae-gun Woo stands and politely apologizes. I thought you were doing it for me. No problem, I'll pour wine for you instead. Then Young gives him a warning. You're still doing these same old things. If you don't stop, one day, you'll get punished for them. But what actually happens is totally opposite. At the same event, the Health and Welfare Minister gives Youngwoo the award for Best Plastic Surgeon. Dae-gun sees all this and feels even more jealous. Later, we see Youngwoo with his old school friends Kim and Young. They're chatting, and from their conversation, we find out that a school reunion party is going to happen. They ask Youngwoo if he'll attend. Youngwoo says, I can't say for sure. What if I have a surgery that day? Then Young teases him. Even if Ha-nol comes to the party, you still won't come? Youngwoo replied, why are you suddenly talking about Ha-nol? None of us even know where she is now or what she's doing. Then he adds, she was a very good student in school, so I think she must be doing well. But what Youngwoo thinks is not the reality. On the other side, we see Ha-nol. Yes, she had moved forward in life and had even built her career, but things did not turn out the way she had imagined. Every time, her senior doctor scolds her, and she always has to apologize. She is given so much work that she doesn't even get proper sleep. As soon as her scolding session ends, she steps out to relax for a moment, but just then, she is called again for an operation surgery, and so, she still doesn't get rest. Next morning, when Ha-nol returns home, her mom sees how tired she is and gets very worried. Her mom quickly goes to make something nice for her. Ha-nol is so tired, she almost falls asleep while sitting. Still, she washes her hands and sits down to eat, but suddenly, her stomach starts hurting badly. Seeing this, mom gets even more stressed. Ha-nol says, these days, my health hasn't been good. At that moment, her phone rings. She is called back to the hospital. Once again, Ha-nol has to run out without eating. Meanwhile, Youngwoo's life was going really well. He had not just become a doctor, but also an influencer. He used to get big offers from famous companies. He did their ads and earned millions. With that money, he bought dozens of clinics, and whatever product he reviewed would instantly sell in the market. Everything in his life was going smoothly. Youngwoo's life suddenly changes completely. We see a new patient visiting his luxury clinic. She wants to get contouring surgery done. From the nurse, Youngwoo finds out that this woman has come from Macau, and she has brought multiple bodyguards with her. It seems like she is someone very important. The day of surgery arrives, and everything is prepared. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Ha-nul again. She is working hard on a medical project, but her senior doctor adds another person to the team, a lab doctor named Dr. Yu. This means all the credit for the project will go to Dr. Yu, not Ha-nul, because Dr. Yu's father is a very powerful businessman. But all this doesn't bother Ha-nul much. She is already too disturbed by her stomach pain. When she steps out of the hospital, her stomach pain starts again. Just then, her friend calls her. They had planned to have lunch together. And here, we reach the same scene shown at the start of episode 1. Ha-nul is in the middle of the road. Suddenly she collapses because of the pain, and a truck is seen coming straight at her. Thankfully, the driver stops the truck just in time. Her friend rushes over and finds Ha-nul unconscious. She is taken to the emergency room immediately. On the other side, in Youngwoo's operation room, the surgery starts becoming very complicated. There is too much bleeding from the patient's mouth. Youngwoo and his team try everything to stop the bleeding, but it keeps getting worse. Eventually, they are unable to save her. The patient dies on the table. This is the first time in Youngwoo's life that a patient has died during surgery. Soon this news becomes viral everywhere. Youngwoo even has to go to the police station, though this was just for questioning. A much bigger problem was waiting for him. The woman who died was not an ordinary person. She was the heiress of a major casino empire in Macau. Because of this, her family files a huge lawsuit against Youngwoo. And the worst part? The surgery footage from the operation room is missing. We now see a courtroom scene. The opposite lawyer accuses Youngwoo of giving a medication that should never be used during surgery. Youngwoo's lawyer defends him. My client never even orders such medication for his clinic. All the medicines in the clinic are fully documented. They even present all the reports, showing which medicines were ordered and from where. But then, the opposing lawyer brings solid evidence. During the investigation, they found that same banned medication in the operation room. And worse, the bottle had Youngwoo's fingerprints on it. Youngwoo is completely shocked because he never used that medication. Still, this strong evidence is enough. Youngwoo loses the case. He faces massive financial loss in the billions. And for the first time in his life, Youngwoo truly feels defeated. He realizes there is a difference between failure and defeat. When a person works hard but fails to reach their dream, that is called failure. But when someone reaches their dream, builds their life, and then loses it all because of one mistake, that is called defeat. And today, Youngwoo was feeling defeated. Even then, he had one hope in his heart. Maybe his friends would believe him. But when he meets his friends, they end up fighting with him. Kim and Young used to do business with Youngwoo. Because of the lawsuit, they also suffered huge losses. Now even they doubt him. They ask, if you didn't use that medicine, then how did your fingerprints end up on the bottle? Youngwoo is shattered. His friends don't believe him either. Youngwoo finds out from Kyungmin that there are multiple lawsuits filed against him. That means Youngwoo is now in debt of at least 1 billion won. To pay this debt, he will have to sell all his clinics, his house, and even his car. Hearing all this, Youngwoo is completely broken, but Kyungmin tries to comfort him. He says, you have to stay strong, Youngwoo. On the other side, we see Ha-nul. She finds out that the reason for her stomach pain was kidney stone. Now she's physically fine, but mentally, she is still deeply disturbed. So many thoughts are running in her head, because of which she can't focus on her career or move forward in life. She had worked so hard for her achievement, but now she can't even feel happy about them. She decides to visit a psychologist. There, she opens up about her feelings. She says, that day, when I was about to get hit by the truck, a strange thought came into my mind, that instead of getting scolded every day by senior doctor, instead of apologizing again and again, instead of working endlessly, but still staying in the same place, instead of feeling defeated even after success, maybe if that truck hits me, I could finally be free. She thought that if she died, then she wouldn't have to face all of this anymore. Hearing this, the doctor gives her a mental health form and tells her to fill it out. Only then he will tell her what's really going on with her. We see Ha-nul sitting silently, filling the form. Each line had statements with options to choose. Do you always feel lonely or sad? Ha-nul ticks, always. Do you feel rejected? She ticks, always. Do you suddenly feel like crying? Again, she ticks, always. There were many such lines, and Ha-nul chose always for all of them. After seeing her responses, The doctor tells her, "You are suffering from depression." Hearing this, Ha-nol is shocked. She says, "This can't be true. How can I have depression?" She doesn't believe it. She thinks, "I'm a doctor. I work hard. I have a career. How can I be depressed?" Saying this, she walks out of the clinic. She feels like the doctor is talking nonsense. Ha-nol returns home, but her mind is not at peace. She goes to the terrace to calm herself. There, near the edge of the wall, she sees a man standing silently. She walks closer and asks, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" As soon as the boy turns around, we see it's Youngwoo. His eyes are full of tears. And as soon as the two of them see each other, they both come out of their sadness for a moment. They ask in surprise, "You? What are you doing here?" Their mood suddenly changes. They are meeting after a long time, and that too in such a painful moment. Youngwoo is standing at the end of his career, while Ha-nol is at her lowest point. Both are wondering the same thing. What will I even say to the other person? What should I tell them about my life? We're shown how Youngwoo ended up at that place. After falling into huge debt, he had to sell his house, his car, basically everything he had. At least for now, he just needed a place to stay. That's why Kyungmin suggested this house to him, since it was actually Kyungmin's own property. And so, Youngwoo moved in. When Youngwoo entered the house, it was obviously small for him, but he had no choice. He had to adjust for now. He was still looking around the house when he got a call from his mom, who lives in America. She asked if he was doing okay. Youngwoo could feel that she was really worried about him, but instead, she said that his dad is running for chairman next year, so she begged him not to do anything that could ruin their effort. As soon as she said this, she hung up the call. Youngwoo was left feeling even more emotional, realizing that sometimes in life, when you go down, your whole family has to face the consequences too. His eyes filled with tears. And right then, Ha-nol appeared behind him. Both of them were shocked to see each other. Ha-nol asked, "You're Youngwoo, right?" But Youngwoo tried to deny it, saying, "No, I'm not." Ha-nol insisted, "You are. What are you doing here? Did you come to meet me?" Youngwoo replied, "Why would I want to meet you? I've rented this house. That's why I'm here. And what about you?" Ha-nol said, "That's not possible, because I live in this building." And when both realized they were going to be neighbors now, their faces said it all, awkward and stunned. In the next scene, we see Ha-nol talking to her friend Lee Hong. Ha-nol is asking her if Kyungmin has rented the upper apartment to someone. Lee Hong replies yes, he just rented it out today. Meanwhile, Youngwoo is also talking to Kyungmin. Youngwoo is asking, "Why didn't you tell me that Lee Hong's friend Ha-nol lives here too? Didn't you know she was my classmate in school?" Kyungmin casually replies, "That's a good thing, right? You guys were classmates. Or was she your first love?" Youngwoo instantly denies it. "No way. She was just a competitor to me." And just then, he starts remembering the year 2009. Even during free class time, Ha-nol was always studying. Youngwoo, sitting with his friends, kept watching her. The class wasn't even halfway done, and Ha-nol had already eaten 5 packets of dry coffee. Kim said, "She's so into studying. When you study, you do it calmly and quietly. But she's like a bulldozer." Then Kim started mimicking Ha-nol's intense study habit, which made a bit of noise in the class. Ha-nol yelled at him and told him to shut up. Kim came back to Youngwoo and whispered, "See how scary she is. This time, I'm sure she'll beat you." Hearing that, Youngwoo replied, "She can't beat me." Young added, "If you really think that, then why are you shaking so much?" We see Youngwoo's legs trembling. He tries to make an excuse, saying, "It's just cold." But deep down, Youngwoo was clearly nervous, because today, the teacher was going to hand out their test results and Youngwoo was seriously anxious. And in the next scene, when it was Youngwoo's turn, the teacher handed him the report card and even praised him. Youngwoo was sure that he must have scored the highest in the class, but as soon as he looked at his report card, he saw that he came in second. Seeing this, he fainted and fell to the ground. His friends rushed to catch him and tried to bring him back to consciousness, but Youngwoo was so shocked that he couldn't even walk on his own. So they had to carry him down. After this incident, Youngwoo was so provoked that he started acting like a little kid, teasing Ha-nol, trying to race ahead of her on his bicycle. And not just that, to get ahead of Ha-nol, he even started copying. When Ha-nol would eat 1 packet of dry coffee, Youngwoo would deliberately eat 2 to annoy her. One day, their teacher asked both of them to solve a math problem in front of the whole class. For Ha-nol, this was nothing new, but for Youngwoo, it was a full-blown war. They both started solving the math problem. This time, Youngwoo just wanted to beat her no matter what. And he actually did it. He solved the problem before Ha-nol. He was so happy that he even solved her question too, just to rub it in. You can tell me in the comment box, how are you in study? Back in the present, we see Lee Hong asking Ha-nol if he's just living here, then what's the big deal? Ha-nol replied, "Back in school, we used to be after each other all the time. It's a long story. That's why I don't want to see his face again." Lee Hong said, "You know, When a guy and a girl keep fighting like that, they usually end up falling in love. Maybe you two will fall for each other too. And if he's handsome, maybe go on a date. Huh? Noel shut her down and said, that's not going to happen. Anyway, he won't stay here long. I beat him in school. I know him well. He won't be able to live in front of me. And on the other side, we see Youngwoo thinking the same thing. He says to himself, no matter what happens, I'm not staying here in front of her. So he starts looking for a new house, but every apartment he checks requires a deposit to rent. And seeing that, Youngwoo drops the plan completely. That night, while Youngwoo was walking outside the building, he bumps into Ha-nol again. She ignores him and tries to walk away, but Youngwoo steps in and blocks her path. Ha-nol asks him, what's your problem now? Do you want to fight again? Youngwoo says, no, nothing like that. I just need to say something. Ha-nol replies, whatever you want to say it quickly. Actually, Youngwoo wanted to indirectly ask her if she would be okay if he stayed there. So he says, as you know, I've got a case going on and I'm under 3.7 billion won in debt. So for now, I have no choice but to live here. But I'm sure you must be feeling uncomfortable having me around. Before Youngwoo could even finish and ask if he should move out, Ha-nol interrupted and said, I don't care whether you stay here or not. Saying that, she started to walk away. Youngwoo continues telling his story to Ha-nol, saying, I had debt of more than 10 billion. That's why I had to sell my house, my car, everything. But as he speaks, Ha-nol starts yawning and says, okay, if you want to move somewhere else, go ahead. Saying this, she starts walking away. Youngwoo stops her and says, why would I move out? I was talking about you moving away. Just then, Ha-nol's uncle shows up. Seeing them, he asks what the problem is. Youngwoo quickly says, oh no. There's no problem. I was just talking to this girl. The uncle points at Ha-nol and says, that girl is my niece. Then he walks away. Moments later, Ha-nol's younger brother arrives too. He also notices Youngwoo and stops for a second. Youngwoo, trying to be friendly, says, the shop owner seems a bit too angry. The younger brother replied, that man who just left is my uncle. Hearing that, Youngwoo thinks to himself, looks like she lives here with her entire family. Kicking her out of this place is going to be impossible. Later, Youngwoo goes back inside and quietly lies down. Meanwhile, downstairs, Ha-nol's younger brother, Namda, tells their mom, I met the guy who just moved in upstairs. He seems nice, but I think there are 2 people living up there. I saw another man go inside too. Then we're shown that same mysterious man secretly keeping an eye on Youngwoo. Youngwoo senses that someone is outside, so he comes out to check, but no one is there. That night, Youngwoo again sees that same terrifying nightmare, the one from the operation room. He wakes up scared and sweaty. The next morning, Ha-nol is in a hurry to leave for the hospital. She's drying her hair while walking out the door. Her uncle Taesun tells her to stop and dry it properly first, but Ha-nol says, I don't have time. I'll manage it on the way. Then she rushes off. Meanwhile, we see Youngwoo stepping outside, and just then, the shop assistant, Taesun, shakes out a cloth forcefully, and all the dust goes straight into Youngwoo's eye. Taesun apologizes immediately and says, I didn't see you coming. Elsewhere, we see Dae-gun sitting alone in his clinic. Not a single patient has come all day. His assistant, Miss Kim, tells him, you should really do something to promote the clinic. These days, even doctors use social media to grow. Dae-gun says, how can I use Youngwoo's name or position for my own benefit? I'm not that kind of person. But then he admits, okay, I know I say bad things about him behind his back, but there's a reason. There's a story between us. Hearing this again, the 2 nurses say, please don't. We've already heard your story so many times. We're tired of it. Meanwhile, we see Youngwoo checking out a new house. But as soon as the landlady sees him, she recognizes him. She pulls the dealer aside and starts talking about Youngwoo behind his back. Just then, Youngwoo receives a call from Kyungmin. In the next scene, we see Youngwoo meeting with Kyungmin. Youngwoo had asked him to find out more about the man who was present in the operation room during the surgery. That guy used to work at Youngwoo's own clinic. Kyungmin tells him, I couldn't find anything about him. He's not even on social media. Then he asks, but why are you so interested in him? Youngwoo revealed he was the only one who changed his statement during the hearing. Everyone else who was present in the operating room stood by their original statement, but he didn't. He changed his words. And because of that, I lost the case. He adds, that's why I'm still suffering. The investigation was still going on. Kyungmin asks Youngwoo, if you were suspicious of him, why did you hire him at your clinic in the first place? Youngwoo replies, because there was something different about him. Usually, people make appointments when they want a job, but he directly met me. He handed me his resume himself. Seeing his skills and his face, I felt like maybe he really needed that job, so I didn't ask him many questions. Kyungmin says, you're a professional doctor. You shouldn't be this careless. You can't trust someone so easily. Just then, Youngwoo gets a message from the housing agent. The owner had refused to rent the house to him. This made Youngwoo feel really upset. At the same time, Ha-nol comes walking by and Kyungmin asks Youngwoo if he's talked to her yet. So Youngwoo walks up to Ha-nol to speak with her. Ha-nol asks him, "What are you doing here?" Youngwoo says, "Of course I didn't come to meet you. I came to meet Dr. Kyungmin." Ha-nol looks surprised and asks, "You know Kyungmin?" Youngwoo says, "Of course. He was my senior in high school. I used to take tutoring from him too." Ha-nol scoffs, "Well, I don't think he was a great teacher. Because even without coaching, I beat you in the first semester." Youngwoo gets triggered. "Then what about the entrance exam? I scored higher than you in that." Ha-nol starts calculating again, counting all the times they each beat the other in different tests. Finally, they both come to the conclusion they've defeated each other an equal number of times. Then Ha-nol asks, "Weren't you supposed to move out? What happened with that?" Youngwoo dramatically replies, "Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. You have a job. You live with your family. So why don't you move out?" But Ha-nol ignores him and keeps walking. Youngwoo walks behind her, explaining, "Look, I used to have everything, but suddenly I lost it all. This could happen to you too, you know." Suddenly, Ha-nol stops. Youngwoo gets scared. Maybe she got mad at what he said? But no, it was just a message on her phone about her next appointment. Then Youngwoo overtakes her, still giving her a lecture. Ha-nol thinks to herself, everyone has their own problems in life. Next, we see Ha-nol getting scolded again by Dr. Kim. His department had received the worst reviews from practical training students, and he kept blaming Ha-nol, even though it wasn't her fault. He even kicks her foot in frustration. But Ha-nol stays calm and composed. Then a junior doctor arrives and informs Dr. Kim that an emergency C-section is needed. A pregnant patient has just come in, and they can't delay because she's a VIP. Dr. Kim immediately calls Ha-nol to assist in the operation room. After he leaves, another doctor tells Ha-nol, "Looks like he's scared to perform the C-section alone. That's why he's dragging you in." In the next scene, we see Ha-nol inside the operation room. It becomes clear that Dr. Kim is not a very experienced surgeon. He can't even locate the patient's vein properly. He pricks her hand multiple times, causing visible injury. And yet, he blames the patient for having weak veins. That's when Ha-nol steps forward and says, "Dr. Kim, can I try once?" He nods and gives her permission. With her calm and experienced hands, Ha-nol successfully completes the task, and the operation goes smoothly. Later, we see Ha-nol visiting Dr. Lee Jun. She tells him that she's been feeling pain in her chest. Dr. Lee explains that it's due to depression. He says, "Depression affects your mental health, but it also impacts your heart. That pain in your chest, it's emotional." He gives her medication, but also says the most important thing: you need to rest. Give yourself some time. That's how you'll heal. Next, we see Ha-nol back at work when she gets a phone call. She's being called urgently. In the next scene, we see the VIP patient's mother shouting at Dr. Kim. She had donated huge amounts to National University Hospital. "There's no shortage of experienced doctors here. Then how did my daughter's hand end up like this?" Right then, Ha-nol rushes in. And Dr. Kim? He shamelessly shifts all the blame to Ha-nol. He even tells her to apologize to the patient's mother. And sadly, Ha-nol did. Later, in Dr. Kim's office, he told her, "This time, you have to take the full blame. I'm running for chief of anesthesiology next year. I can't take this risk. So if they call us again, just fall at their feet and apologize. They'll forgive you easily." He added, "You want to be a professor, right? Help me and I'll help you." Then he said mockingly, "Why that long face now? Just do what I say." But Ha-nol had had enough. She said, "I wasn't the one who messed up, it was you. You were the one playing around with the patient's arm." Dr. Kim shouted, "What did you say?" Ha-nol shouted back, "Stop blaming others for your own mistake. You know why our department gets the worst reviews from students? Because your classes are awful. Old theories, boring teaching. You're the reason our department doesn't move forward. So stop blaming everything on me." Hearing all this, Dr. Kim got furious and tried to kick her again. But this time, Ha-nol kicked him instead, pushed him hard, and he fell to the ground. She said, "Say sorry for your own mistake." And she started to walk away. Dr. Kim yelled, "Who are you trying to act proud in front of? If you act like this, you'll never make it in this field. Forget about becoming a doctor." Ha-nol threw her coat on the table and said, "That's enough. I'm not going to sacrifice my health anymore for all this." Ha-nol quit her job. When Lee Hong found out, she ran out of her clinic to see her. On the way, she bumped into Digging and then reached Ha-nol. She asked, "What happened? I heard you beat up Dr. Kim and quit the hospital." Ha-nol told her to be quiet. "If mom hears this, it'll be bad. Let's talk somewhere else." But it was too late. Ha-nol's mom had heard everything. She was furious. "I did everything to make you a doctor. Sold everything we had just to support your education. And you just left your hospital job like that. Outside, Youngwoo was just walking past and heard the shouting. He stopped and listened quietly. Inside, Ha-nol was telling her mom why she quit. I work all day with no time to rest. I just need a little time for myself. But her mom got even angrier. We don't have time for that. I've worked so hard, day and night, sold everything to come here, and now you say you need more time? You know how hard I work behind your back. Ha-nol broke down crying. She screamed, what do you even know about me? Even in school, I used to study 17 hours a day. That's how I got here today. I worked so hard, became a doctor, and still, I get insulted. I get blamed for mistakes I didn't even make. People treat me like I know nothing. But her mom couldn't understand what her daughter was going through. Ha-nol finally said, I have depression. Then she walked out of the house crying. Her mom stood there, stunned, realizing for the first time that her daughter was truly suffering. Night fell. Ha-nol still hadn't returned home. She wasn't answering anyone's calls either. Meanwhile, Youngwoo was returning home too, and he was also thinking about Ha-nol. Right then, Ha-nol appeared in front of him. Youngwoo stopped her and asked, wanna go for a drink? I'm feeling down. I need to talk. Ha-nol replied, one bottle won't do it. If I go with you, you'll have to buy me 3. Youngwoo was surprised but said, okay. He tried to offer her his jacket, but Ha-nol said, what kind of behavior is this? Youngwoo said, what behavior? Are you seriously going to the store in that outfit? Ha-nol looked at herself and said, you're right, and quickly put on the jacket. They both headed to the store for a drink, but fate had other plans. Their high school reunion party was happening right inside that same store. Kim spotted Youngwoo, pulled him to the table, and made him sit. Everyone saw Ha-nol and asked, are you two still in touch? Ha-nol replied, I only contacted him because I had something to talk about. Youngwoo stayed silent, avoiding any explanation. But even here, people started talking about Youngwoo's court case. Youngwoo didn't feel good and stepped out. Kim, Young, and Ha-nol followed him. Kim tried to cheer him up. We still care about you. We're your friend. But then he asked, did you really kill that patient on purpose? That made Youngwoo furious. He said, why are you both angry at me? What did you lose because of me? Did I ruin your business? No, I gave you jobs when you were bankrupt, because you were my friend. You should have trusted me. Kim Young realized his mistake and tried to apologize, but Youngwoo was too upset. He started to walk away. Ha-nol followed him, but suddenly Youngwoo stopped and said, please, don't follow me. Ha-nol said, have you forgotten? We live in the same building. Hearing that, Youngwoo started walking again. Ha-nol quietly followed behind. Once again, Youngwoo stopped and asked her, do you still want to drink those 3 bottles of soju? In the next scene, we see both of them drinking together. While drinking, they talk a lot about life, about the past, and once again, they start teasing each other about how many times one beat the other in school. Later, we see them walking back home. On the way, Youngwoo suddenly saw a man in a black suit and immediately got scared. He whispered to Ha-nol, this is my secret. I'm scared of people in black suits. Ha-nol couldn't help but laugh. She started teasing him, and then they both began playing a game. Who could hit the other harder on the head with a flick? Ha-nol went first. She gave Youngwoo a strong flick on the head. Youngwoo dramatically dropped to the ground in shock, acting like it really hurt. Ha-nol laughed so hard and made fun of him. Youngwoo, pretending to be in pain, said, that was way too hard. Now it's my turn. But just then, Ha-nol's phone buzzed. It was a message from her mom. The message said, I don't need anything from you. I just want my daughter back, safe and sound. Reading this, Ha-nol's eyes filled with tears. Youngwoo looked at her and said, see? It's my turn, and now you're crying. Ha-nol tried to smile and said, it's not that. It's just, I can't stop these tears. And then she broke down and started crying, even more seriously than before. Youngwoo gently told her, stop crying, or I'll start crying too. And within moments, both of them were crying like little kids. They hugged each other while crying, pouring out all the pain they'd been holding inside. At that moment, both of them found comfort in each other's presence. They felt safe and less alone. And with that emotional hug, by showing the year 2009, we're told that Youngwoo's life used to be perfect, at least before Ha-nol came into it. He was the only student in his school who always got #1 mark. Not just in school, even in his family and his religion group, even nationwide, he used to be a topper. Even his classmates liked him a lot because he would share his notes with everyone, helping them study better. Not only was he great at study, but also good at sports and other school activities. He had become so popular in school that people used to offer him food and girls used to compete just to be his friend. But then, that day came. One day out of nowhere, a new student arrived in class, Ha-nol. At first, Young Woo didn't take her seriously, but when the results of the first test came, for the first time in his life, Young Woo came in second. That moment changed everything. He became desperate to be first again. Ha-nol was something else. She used to run to her extra classes just to save time. She didn't even go to the washroom often. Instead, she used to eat dry coffee to stay alert. Young Woo had never seen anyone like her, so obsessed with study. So even he started copying her. He sacrificed his sleep, started studying even harder. At lunchtime, while Young Woo would be picking up his tray to eat, he would see Ha-nol eating only a banana to save time. Seeing that, Young Woo decided no lunch, not even a banana. Later one night, we see Young Woo still sitting in the library, eyes burning with sleep. It was already very late, so he started packing up to go home. But just then he saw a desk light still on. He walked closer. It was Ha-nol, still studying. Looking at her face, it was clear sleep didn't exist for this girl. Young Woo couldn't believe it. How could someone not sleep? And if she was staying here, then how could he go home? He looked at her, made a small signal. As long as you study here, I'll study here too. And he sat right across from her and opened his books again. The next day, after a whole night of no sleep, Young Woo's condition was terrible. He looked like someone who hadn't slept for weeks. But still, when he saw Ha-nol in class, he tried to motivate himself. Then class ended. Young Woo stood up, and he felt like he was going to collapse right there. But before he could, Ha-nol fainted and collapsed first. And right after that, Young Woo also passed out. Even while fainting, he had just one regret, that he came second again. Later, when both of them woke up in the school's restroom, they looked at each other. Young Woo softly asked her, "Are you okay?" He tried to talk nicely, but Ha-nol didn't even look directly at him. She pulled out a small notebook from under the blanket. It was full of mini notes, so she could study even while lying down if something like this happened. Young Woo looked at her in shock. Even after fainting, she's still studying? He turned his back and went back to sleep, annoyed. Hours later, he woke up. Ha-nol was gone. Just then, some teachers came to check on him. Young Woo asked them, "Where's Ha-nol?" They said, "Oh, she already went for her intensive class." Young Woo was stunned. She didn't even ask if he was okay, didn't even care. Just left him there like nothing happened. He stood up and shouted, "Now, let's see how you'll stay ahead of me." And with that, we're brought back to the present timeline. Morning has arrived, and Young Woo clearly remembers all the mess that happened last night after they both got drunk. And now, both of them feel deeply embarrassed. Ha-nol bows her head. In the next scene, she sees Young Woo and quietly says hello to Young Woo. Young Woo also greets her back, feeling a little embarrassed. Ha-nol awkwardly says, "Last night we drank together." They both agree that whatever happened last night, they were drunk. And drunk people make silly mistakes sometimes. So whatever happened, they'll just forget it and never talk about it again. They even joke, "Let's just get out of each other's way from now on." Then Ha-nol walks into her house. Her mom is sitting there silently. Just then, Ha-nol's little brother Nam-dae comes in and says, "I heard you have depression, and you even fought with mom yesterday." He continues, "Look, I'm also jobless, but I'm not depressed. Now you're jobless too, so just rest." Hearing this, mom scolds Nam-dae, "Why are you talking to your sister like that?" But Nam-dae says seriously, "No, it's important. We should talk openly with her. If we want her to recover, we have to help her like a family." Then he casually asks his mom, "What's for dinner tonight? Anything special?" When he hears that they're going to eat sprouts again, he makes a face and says, "Can you make something nice tonight?" Mom gets annoyed and starts hitting him playfully, and Ha-nol quietly goes into her room. Some time later, her mom comes in with her medicine. She says she found the pills in Ha-nol's room, and it's time to take them. She becomes emotional, but Ha-nol tells her not to cry and promises that she take her medicine. A few hours later, when Ha-nol comes back from the market, the whole family throws her a surprise party. They call it a depression party to cheer her up. Even their uncle looks like he's about to cry, but Nam-dae and Walsean stop him, reminding him they promised not to cry in front of Ha-nol. They've prepared all kinds of food just for her. Later that night, when Ha-nol is alone in her room, she thinks to herself, "Everyone's suddenly so focused on me, following me around all the time." She calls her friend Lee Hong and asks what she's doing. Lee Hong says she's very busy and has to go into surgery soon. Ha-nol asks if she'll go out with her after she's free, but Lee Hong says she has a night shift. She also adds, "If you're feeling this bored, then why did you quit your job? If you want to come back, I can talk to the professor for you." Ha-nol silently cuts the call. On the other side, we see Young Woo meeting his lawyer. The second hearing of his case is next week, but they still haven't figured out how his fingerprints ended up on the bottle. The lawyer says he talked to all employees, but nothing useful came up. Then he tells Young Woo, Dr. Kang will appear in court in the next hearing to answer the question. Young Woo is shocked. Really? He agreed to testify? Why so suddenly? The The lawyer also says, I was surprised too. He refused before, but now he agreed out of nowhere. If he testifies honestly, he continues, it could help your case a lot. After this, when Youngwoo and Kyungmin step outside, Kyungmin says, I thought he was a bad guy, but maybe I was wrong. Even Youngwoo nods. Yeah, I feel the same, but still, something about him doesn't feel right. We now see Dr. Kang secretly entering Jungwoo's apartment. Since there was no way to get in, he breaks the window and opens the door from inside. The sound of glass breaking reaches the downstairs apartment. Her mom hears it, but thinks maybe it was just her imagination. Then her mom comes and tells Namdae, take this blanket upstairs to that new guy who just moved in. She means Youngwoo. Namdae refuses. Why does he need a blanket? He's not poor. He's a doctor. But mom says, I heard he moved here because he went bankrupt. He might need a little help. Namdae still doesn't want to go, so Walsean threatens, fine, I'll cut your pocket money. That worked. Namdae reluctantly takes the blanket and goes upstairs. When he reaches the apartment, he sees the door open and the window broken. He steps inside looking confused. Just then Youngwoo arrives from behind. He asks, what are you doing here? Namdae tells him, I came to give you a blanket. But the door was open and the window's broken. In the next scene, the police arrive. They investigate the apartment and say, there's no sign of anything being stolen. They plan to check the CCTV footage nearby and will inform Youngwoo as soon as they find anything. No, mom tells Youngwoo, tonight you should sleep at our apartment. Your window is broken, cold air could come in. But Youngwoo politely says thanks and refuses. No, it's okay. I'll stick some large newspapers over the windows. I'll sleep just fine. After that, they both go downstairs. Youngwoo looks a bit sad as he starts cleaning up the broken glass. A little while later, Han-nol shows up and says, I heard something happened here, so I came to check on you. Then she adds, my mom was also asking, where will you sleep tonight? So why don't you just sleep at our place? Youngwoo says, it's really not a big deal. I'm not sleeping here anyway. Han-nol asks, then where are you going to sleep? Don't tell me you're going to her place. I know she has a night shift tonight. Youngwoo says, why? I have other friends too. I'll go to one of their places. Han-nol raises an eyebrow and says, which friends? The ones who aren't even answering your calls? Come on, stop making excuses. Just come downstairs and sleep. She adds, honestly, this is awkward for me too, but I can't let my classmate freeze alone like this. Then she teases him. What if the man in the black suit comes back tonight? What if he attacks you and throws you in the river? No one will even know what happened to you. Youngwoo tells her, stop scaring me. Han-nol reassures him, don't worry, everything will get better soon. None of this was your fault. In the next scene, we see Youngwoo sitting with Han-nol's family. Walsean says, I had no idea you two went to the same school. That's great. You both must know each other very well. Han-nol quickly replied, no, we weren't that close. Youngwoo also says, that's true. Who would want to get close to her anyway? Hearing that, Walsean's mother pulls her delicious plate of food away in annoyance. Youngwoo quickly says, wait, I think you're misunderstanding. Let me explain properly. He tells them, Han-nol never had time to talk with us or hang out. Not in school, not outside of it. Even when we invited her for taeboki, she would say she's allergic, but really she just wanted to study. Han-nol replies, you knew I was lying about that? Youngwoo says, of course I knew. No one's allergic to taeboki. He adds, that's why we never became close friends. Then Han-nol opens up. I actually really wanted to eat taeboki. I wanted to go to arcades, play karaoke game, but I knew I had to study. So I held back my desires and focused on school. Hearing all this, Walsean gets emotional and starts crying. She says, I had no idea that you were pushing yourself that hard. Everyone tries to calm her down and they all enjoy their meal together. After dinner, Han-nol shows Youngwoo where he'll be sleeping. She then asks, should we go out and eat ice cream? She says it because both of them are going through hard time, and going out into the fresh air might help. But then she changes her mind and says no. It's too late at night. As she turns to go back to her room and says goodnight, she sees her mom standing at her door. Before her mom could start lecturing her again, Han-nol quickly turns around and says to Youngwoo, let's go eat ice cream. In the next scene, we see Lee Hong finishing her shift. She starts thinking about Han-nol and how bored she must be at home alone. She wishes she could spend time with her, but work is keeping her so busy. And knowing Han-nol, she doesn't even know how to keep herself busy when she's not working. So she thinks, maybe I should find something on the internet to help her. She opens YouTube and finds a random silly video titled, How to Fold a Crane Using a Blanket. Even though the video is totally stupid, she kind of likes it. She ends up subscribing to the channel. On the other side, we see Dae Kyung walking out of his clinic. He gets a notification on his phone. When he opens it, he sees that he just got his first YouTube subscriber. He shouts with excitement. All the nearby nurses ask, what happened? He tells them proudly, I got my first real subscriber, someone who's not a family member or friend. The nurses don't care much and walk away. He opens the profile and sees the name Lee Hong. He gets excited thinking about his new subscriber. We even see Lee Hong walking past at the same time, without either of them realizing. Meanwhile, we see Youngwoo and Hanul eating ice cream outside. Youngwoo says, "I feel really good eating ice cream like this with a friend." But Hanul quickly corrects him. "We're not friends." Hanul says, "We're just classmates. Nothing more." Youngwoo replied, "Then what's the difference? If you don't want to consider me your friend, that's fine." Just then an ambulance passes by in front of them. Seeing it, Hanul suddenly becomes quiet and sad, because she used to love her job deeply, and now she's jobless. To cheer her up, Youngwoo gently says, "You're not jobless. You're just free for a little while. So why don't we do something fun instead?" He asks, "What's something you'd enjoy doing? Something that'll make you feel better?" Hanul smiles a little and says, "I think I'd like to write essays. Whenever I write or read those in my free time, I feel really good." Youngwoo laughs and says, "Stop talking about reading and writing all the time. Why don't you do all the things you wanted to do back in school? Like eat tteokbokki, go to arcade, play karaoke game." Then he takes her to eat tteokbokki. Hanul says she's not hungry since she just ate, but Youngwoo insists and pulls her along. And guess what? Once the food comes, she ends up eating the most. She even starts giving him advice like, when people are stressed, they should eat their favorite food. After eating, Youngwoo brings up arcade game. Hanul says, "Arcade? That's so old-fashioned. What would we even do there?" But in the very next scene, we see both of them at the arcade. Hanul is like a little kid, playing every game she sees with full excitement. When it's time to sing, she starts singing a very old-fashioned poem song. Youngwoo is trying his best to tolerate it, but then he can't take it anymore and presses the cancel button. He lies. "Oh, I accidentally pressed it." He suggests, "Why don't you sing a K-pop song instead?" Hanul tells him, "I never listened to K-pop. I didn't want to waste time on music, but now I think I should've." So Youngwoo takes her to a K-pop dance stage, where they dance to upbeat music together. They both have lots of fun. Later, as they walk back home, they start talking about all the mistakes they made in life. Youngwoo finally says, "We should both take a break, because we've both hit rock bottom." Back at home, Youngwoo lies in bed thinking about Hanul. He says to himself, "I didn't know this side of her even existed. She's emotional. She can judge people's character really well. And she's a little cute too." Then suddenly he catches himself and says, "Cute? Who said she's cute? There's nothing cute about her. I must be sick or something." On the other side, Hanul is thinking about Youngwoo. She says to herself, "He's not like I thought. Today I ate tteokbokki, played game, and those 3 silly words he said. Let's take a break. We've hit rock bottom. They're so stupid. But somehow they gave me peace." Next morning, Hanul runs to Youngwoo and shows him her phone. She says angrily, "They reduced my payment. The professor reported me as a contract worker, not a full-time employee." Youngwoo is shocked. "So they secretly marked you as a contract worker? That's awful." Because of this, Hanul won't receive her full payment. She gets angry and says, "I'm going to confront them right now." But Youngwoo holds her hand and says, "I know you're angry, but if you react like this, you won't be able to work in this field again. You know how fast news spreads in this profession." Hanul listens and says, "You're right." Later, Hanul goes to the hospital to meet other contract workers. There were 2 others on the same list. She talks to them and says, "What happened to us is wrong. We should file a complaint together." But the others say, "We don't want to complain. We're definitely upset, but we can't afford to take this risk. You already quit your job, but we still work here." They warn her, "If the professor sees us with you, who knows what punishment we'll get." Hanul understands and apologizes to them. Meanwhile, Youngwoo sits in his room thinking about Hanul. He doesn't even have her number, but he wants to at least say thanks to her family. So he buys some fruit and heads over to her place. As he arrives, he hears a conversation inside. Namdae and his mom are talking. They say, "We heard about Jungwoo's case too. People are gossiping, and maybe he really is guilty. That's probably why he hasn't been able to prove anything." They worry that Hanul might get dragged into all this, and say she's already dealing with depression. This could make it worse. Youngwoo hears all of this from outside the door. It really hurts him. Right then, Hanul shows up behind. Before she can stop him, Youngwoo goes upstairs. She follows him and tells him everything. How even her coworkers don't want to meet her now. Youngwoo says coldly, "You shouldn't have come here." And he walks inside, closing the door behind him. Hanul returns home, but as soon as she gets back, her mom starts talking about Youngwoo again. "There's a case going on against him. What if he's guilty? You should stay away from him." And that's when Hanul finally understands everything. In the final scene, Youngwoo gets a call from his lawyer. The lawyer says, "Dr. Kong suddenly refused to testify in court, and now we can't even reach him." Youngwoo is left left in shock. If things stay this way, then at the next hearing, Jungwoo's case will become even weaker. Worried, Jungwoo somehow gets Dr. Kang's contact number and heads to the place where Kang was recently working. But when he gets there, he finds out that Dr. Kang just resigned that very day. Jungwoo somehow manages to find his new number and tries calling, but on the other side, we see Dr. Kang ignoring the call. Jungwoo tells his lawyer about it, but the lawyer says, "There's nothing we can do now. Trying to find him would be a waste of time. We should focus on preparing for the next hearing." That night, we see Ha-nul reading the case detail. She digs deep into research, gathering every piece of info she can. Next morning, it's the date of Jungwoo's hearing. He reaches court looking emotionally drained. Once again, new allegations are presented against him. His lawyer stands up and requests the court for an extension. He says, "We told the court Dr. Kang would testify today, but suddenly he backed out and didn't show up. We need some time to review the case again, just before the judge can make a decision." Ha-nul suddenly enters the courtroom. She quickly walks up to Jungwoo's lawyer and shows him some documents. Flashback. We see that Ha-nul had stayed up all night, searching for similar cases, and she actually found one in USA, a case almost identical to Jungwoo. She gathered all the details and rushed to court with them. Jungwoo's lawyer goes through the documents and is about to present them as evidence. But before that happens, the judge agrees to grant them a new date. Ha-nul says in her mind, "So, not every courtroom scene is like a movie. Everything doesn't just fall into place at once." Outside the court, the media crowds around Jungwoo. Meanwhile, Jungwoo sees Ha-nul, and just then someone bumps into her. She falls down and that man runs away. Jungwoo rushes to her and quickly lifts her up, taking her away from the media crowd. He notices that her palm is bruised, so he takes her to his old clinic. But when they arrive, everything is shut down. Once this clinic was so busy, he barely had time to breathe. But now it's completely empty. Jungwoo sets those thoughts aside and gently applies medicine and bandages her hand. He says, "Thank you for coming to court." Ha-nul also thanks him and says, "I really wanted to do something for you." Then she adds, "I'm sorry I couldn't bring the evidence in time. Maybe if I had, the judge wouldn't have postponed the hearing." Seeing Jungwoo still upset, Ha-nul says, "Why don't we stay up all night together tonight? And then we'll watch the sunrise in the early morning." Jungwoo smiles and says, "That's a great plan." Next, we see the two of them by the seaside. It's already 6 a.m., but the sun still hasn't risen. They check the weather on their phones and find out it's going to stay cloudy, and there's a chance of rain too. Ha-nul sighs. "Even after coming all the way here, we couldn't see the sunrise." Jungwoo says, "That's okay. Even this view is beautiful. At least we're making memory." Then Jungwoo suddenly asks for Ha-nul's phone number. She hesitates. "For what?" Jungwoo looks at her and says, "Because I don't want to be just a classmate. I want to be your best friend." Ha-nul smiles. In truth, she had also been wanting to give him her number, so she says, "Okay, if you want it, I'll give it to you." She looks at Jungwoo smiling, and she smiles too. She thinks he's going through depression, yet he's trying so hard to comfort me. While both of them are sharing warmth and comfort at the beach, we cut to another scene. Under Jungwoo's bed, we see a pen. Outside the apartment, a light flickers. That means Dr. Kang might have come back. There's probably some kind of evidence left in Jungwoo's apartment, and Kang might be sneaking in again and again trying to get it. Then we flash back to the year 2009. Back then, when Jungwoo had gone off to his class without saying goodbye, Ha-nul had written him a small note that said, "You need to be strong. Everything will be okay soon." Just as she was about to give it to him, she heard a woman shouting. It was Jungwoo's mother yelling at the teacher. She was saying, "What's happening to him all of a sudden? His grades are dropping. He keeps fainting. I'm extremely disappointed." Ha-nul hears this and realizes how strict his parents must be. Just then, Ha-nul's own mother comes from behind and sees her upset. She brings her along to feed her some good food. And in that moment, Ha-nul drops the note. She never got to give it to Jungwoo. If you want to see its next episode, then comment in the comment box.